The acceleration is out of this world. He is a master of the slot fade. I don't know if I've seen a guy in the NFL running the slot fade this good this season.
Always open. He's
always open.
But Alabama, on the road, opening quarter of the game, Malik Nabers, 50-plus yard touchdown catch, in which he runs right past the entire Alabama secondary, Mel. And
all right, boys, we got Malik Nabers, wide receiver out of LSU, junior wide receiver. He is projected as of now. We have him going to the New York Giants in our earliest mock draft. And I pretty much think that's kind of where things kind of have to shake out for him. But there is a big chance to where the Chargers, who kind of, if you ask a lot of Chargers fans, they flopped on the Chargers pick last year with Quentin Johnston. So with the Chargers at the number 5 pick, we currently have them going Brock Bowers, but Malik Nabers can definitely be the guy at that point in time. And so I would probably say, unless something crazy happens with Marvin Harrison Jr., his floor in Malik Nabers is going to be the LA Chargers. I don't think there's a world where he gets past the New York Giants. But what do I like about him? First, I got to tell you guys what I like about receivers. The first thing I like about receivers, and it's kind of plain Jane, it's kind of, duh. When that ball gets into your hand, you got to turn into a running back. I love that. Or I just love the ability that a receiver can have to just run away from defenders. Just speed. So, of course, the Tyreek Hill type of deal, the Antonio Brown, he was really gifted at it. And then, the Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, the ability to just get on your horse and take off is something that I hold in very, very high regard. Now, Malik Nabers, he definitely checks off on that. And when I'm looking at film also, when I'm looking at, right now, the screen that you're seeing, of course, this is just his highlights. We will be doing an actual player breakdown, legit type of deal on our other channel once we get things more situated. I really love his explosiveness. With Malik Nabers, his explosiveness, it's uncanny. And this is another frustrating thing. The simple fact that this guy that I'm about to compare him to, just a part of his game. I'm not really comparing this whole game, just a part of this game, because I think the guy I'm about to, compare him to is different. But I'm proud to say, and I would be more than happy to debate anybody on Jamar Chase, how many times I've seen him off the line, how many games I've seen of Jamar Chase. I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan, and of course, when he and Joe, their last seasons together, I've seen every snap that he has ever had at LSU, and of course, I've seen every single snap that he's had in NFL. The comparisons off the line of scrimmage, just off the line of scrimmage, he and Malik Nabers, they run the same. It's a very, kind of short, choppy type of run. They don't look like they're going anywhere, but they're just flying by the person in front of them. It makes no sense. With both Jamar and Malik Nabers, they look like they're not going that fast, but they are flying by the defenders, the corners, the safeties, anyone and everyone on the field. Another thing that they both do really well, once again, I don't even like doing player comparisons, honestly. I really don't like it because it really, I don't know, it takes away from what Malik can be within his own right, and I'm already comparing him to Jamar Chase. And it's really just more of, body type and just the way they run their routes. But when Malik gets that ball in his hand, he's not going to just go down. You're going to need to wrap him up. You're going to need a second defender. If you're a smaller DB, he is very strong. He has this ability to where if it's a stop route, right? So if it's a 10-yard hook or a 5-yard hitch, he has the ability to take that inside arm and just push that DB if it's a man press ordeal, or if the DB is really close, and he can just push that DB and break down. The ref's not going to call that if the ball's not in the air and if it's really quick and really quiet. And it's going to be barbecue chicken. It's going to be an easy reception every single time. And another thing that he does really well, it's his jump ball ability, the ability to go up and get the ball. That's another thing that I love. So really quick, the speed. I need you to run away from people. Check, Malik Nabers. When you get the ball in your hands, turn it to a running back and no one can take you down. No arm tackles. Check with Malik Nabers. And then lastly, for my receivers, is something that Malik does really well. High point the ball. High point the football. I think that's something that he does immensely well. one thing I like to say, I mean, in his last year at LSU, he accounted for 1,568 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns. He has a counterpart in Brian Thomas Jr. We're going to get into him on another day. Led college football with touchdowns with 17. And of course, his quarterback is going to be Jaden Daniels. And so you can hear a lot of things in the media of this team being very, very similar in some respects, because we all know Joe Burrow is light years better than Jaden Daniels, and that's all due respect to Mr. Jaden. But you have the Justin Jefferson, and then you have the Brian Thomas Jr., you have the Malik Nabers, and then you have, Jamar Chase, Jaden Daniels, and Joe Burrow. It was a very similar ordeal within that respect, and so there's a lot of similarities in that. But the thing with Malik Nabers is he's played a lot in the slot, he's played a lot out wide. He had a 92.9 PFF grade. He has a receiving grade of 93.1, a 90 grade for man coverage. And that's the game. If you can beat someone in man, zone, it's easy. You just got to be intelligent, and the scheme's got to be on point, and the defense has to be susceptible to whatever offense you're running. It has to be a yin and yang with zone coverage. But if you can beat a man, a man beating type wide receiver, that's cash money. That's the biggest of all bucks. That's when the team has to never be in man, and that's to be a too high shell. And you're always going to have someone on top of you, a safety on top of you, a lot of inside help with the linebackers. And that's the type of athlete that Malik Nabers is. And so we love that. 5 drops this season. That's always a thing I really don't care about. I care about, can you get into the end zone? And he did 14 times. On 89 receptions, I'm okay if you give me 14 touchdowns. I'm okay if you drop 5 on 89 receptions. And then another thing that I really like is he was 4th in the nation on missed tackles, right? The ability to turn into a running back. And then deep catches, he was 2nd with 19. This kid has a lot of potential. Once again, I'm not saying he is Jamar Chase, but he is very similar to Jamar Chase. And then 4th in deep yards. That's another feat that's going to bode very, very well in the National Football League. 100%. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you love him? Do you like him? Let me know the next receiver or the next player you want us to go over. Just let me know. And I think with Malik Nabers, it doesn't matter if he's going to go to the Chargers. It doesn't matter if he's going to go to the Giants. He will be the wide receiver 1, day 1, as a rookie in training camp, just similar to what Jamar Chase was. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This isn't going to be a kid that you got to see where he goes in another 2 or 3 years. He's NFL ready. He's already NFL ready. It has the body of an NFL player, the explosiveness of an NFL player, the getaway speed of an NFL player, the catchability of an NFL player. He went to LSU, so he has that he's coachable. LSU, that's wide receiver you. There's a certain mantra, there's an energy you have to be an LSU receiver. So I think he checks all the boxes, but let me know what you guys think of him in the comments. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.